Hi everyone, my name is Branislav. I'm a senior Java developer at Webswing, and I'm the lead architect behind Webswing's Oracle Forms integration. In the first episode, we got Oracle Forms running in the browser. In the second episode, we looked at the Webswing admin console, configuration, monitoring, session recording, mirror view, logs, and diagnostics. Now we'll take the next step: securing access to your Oracle Forms applications in Webswing. It's one thing to make Oracle Forms available in the browser. It's another thing to decide who can access it, how users authenticate, what permissions they have, and how administrators can understand what happened later. Because in production, browser access alone is not enough. You need authentication, authorization, user management, and you need visibility into user activity. Without that, you may end up with uncontrolled access to important business workflows, unclear permissions, and limited traceability when something goes wrong. So in this episode, I'll show you how Webswing security modules help secure Oracle Forms applications, from a simple embedded user setup to integration with Keycloak and other enterprise identity systems. If you are responsible for Oracle Forms, your users probably already have identities somewhere. Maybe in LDAP, in a database, in Keycloak, or maybe in another system using OIDC or SAML2. Webswing gives you a flexible way to connect your application to different authentication and authorization setups. You can configure security per application, or you can inherit the same security module that the admin console uses. Here's what I'll show you today. We'll start with security modules in the admin console. Then we'll look at the simple embedded security module. After that, we'll use Keycloak for a more advanced setup. I'll show how user information from the security session can be used inside the Forms application. Then we'll look at security context per tab, web security settings, audit logs, restricted resources, and REST API users. So let's get into it. Step 1. Security in Admin Console. You can use Admin Console to configure and manage security of your applications, as well as the Admin Console itself. Webswing uses security modules to authenticate and authorize access to the applications. You can configure different security modules for each application, or inherit the same security module that the Admin Console uses for authentication. Step 2. Embedded security module. The simplest security module is embedded. You can directly define user credentials in the configuration file or in the Admin Console interface. Every user can also have a set of roles. By default, Webswing provides two basic roles: admin and support. If you use Admin Console to store a plain text password, it will be automatically obfuscated in the configuration file. The admin role has full authorization, while support has a smaller subset of permissions. You can also define your own roles and permission mapping. Step 3. Keycloak Authentication. Let's make a little more advanced security configuration. I have a Keycloak authentication server running on my machine. For our demo Forms application, I will now configure it to authenticate with Keycloak security module. When I open the application URL, I will be redirected to the Keycloak server for authentication. After authentication, the server navigates me back to the Webswing application with an authenticated session. This way, you can configure a security module to work with OIDC, SAML2, database, or LDAP. In case you do not want to restrict your application with a login, you can also use Known as a security module. But note that unprotected access to your application can lead to uncontrolled access and possible server resource exhaustion. Step 4. Use security session data in the app. I have added this button in our demo application to show you how we can get information from the security session of Keycloak to be available in the application. The dialog shows basic information I got from the security session, like username, role, and other login information. Here's how you can do it with Webswing. Create your own implementation class of the button and include the class in a jar with your Forms application. In the button's action listener, open a JOption pane with information that you get from the Webswing API. Step 5. Security context per tab. Next, I will show you the security context per tab feature. You can enable this in the security configuration in Admin Console. When you configure your application, you can set different session modes. A session mode controls whether you need to start a new application, or you can use an already existing application for the same user or browser. In our application, we have Continue for Tab session mode. This means that in the same browser, we can start a new application instance in each tab. By default, if you log in when starting the app in the first tab, you are using the same security context in all other tabs. With the security context per tab feature enabled, you have a separate security context in each tab. This means you can log in each tab with a different user. Step 6. Web security configuration. In case you need further security configuration for the Webswing web server, visit the Web Security section of the server configuration page. Here you can set content security policies, frame options, or cookie settings. Step 7. Audit logs. To have a better overview of the users that logged in, started an application, and what actions they performed in Admin Console, you can check out the Audit Logs view. Here you can see a list of recent activity. Step 8. Restricted resources. In some cases, you want to host static pages alongside your desktop application in Webswing and leverage the Webswing security integration. The most common example is documentation. Copy files you want to serve securely to the application web folder, for example /docs. Set the restricted resources to /docs. With the restricted resources feature, you can share the same security setup to keep your documentation protected. Now the content will be accessible only to authenticated users. Step 9. REST API users. The last feature I want to present is the REST API for Admin Console. All of the data that you see in Admin Console can be easily accessed using REST API. To be able to access the REST API, you can specify a set of special users that authenticate using basic authentication. Simply create a user with username, password, and a set of permissions based on which REST calls you want to allow for the user. Let's summarize what we've just shown. First, Webswing does not just move Oracle Forms into the browser. It also gives you a way to control access to those applications. You can start simple with embedded users or connect to enterprise identity systems like Keycloak, OIDC, SAML2, Database, or LDAP. Second, you can manage users and roles in a way that matches your environment. That means administrators can decide who gets access, what permissions they have, and how security is applied across different applications. Third, you can bring security context into the application itself. So your Forms application can understand who the logged-in user is and use that information inside the workflow. And finally, you get better visibility. Audit logs help you understand user and administrator activity. Restricted resources help you protect supporting content like documentation. And REST users give you controlled API access for automation or external tooling. So the result is simple. Oracle Forms in the browser, but with the access control, user management, and traceability you need for real production use. If you want to try this yourself, start with the same foundation we built in the previous episodes. First, get Oracle Forms running in Webswing. Then open the admin console, go to the security configuration, and choose the security module that fits your environment. You can find the relevant documentation links in the description. In the next episode, we'll move from securing the application to integrating the desktop app experience with the browser, including upload, download, clipboard, and reports. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.